All right, guys, we're getting toward the end of our unit, and we are on lesson 6 and 6/10, multiplying two decimals. Here I found a cool little image. I'm going to call him Captain Decimal. Even though he looks like a golf ball, he's still a decimal to me. And as always, here is the standard that today's activities are going to be focused on, and that's your standard that you'll be assessed on. So with that being said, let's start going through and understanding how to multiplying two decimals. So I thought to show you how to do this skill, we would start off with a word problem, simply because, number one, I love word problems. Number two, we know that you need help with word problems. And number three, I think they're fun. This is actually a real life skill. Once again, this word problem. This is something that comes up all the time, especially when you're doing stuff in the house, you're maybe fixing something in the house, or you're doing some yard work. This type of word problem is a reoccurring life skill. So that's why it's also important for me to show you this. Let's take a look at the problem that we have in front of us. A bag of grass seed weighs 5 8/10 pounds. How many pounds would 2 5/10 bags weigh? Interesting question. Well, let's start going through this step by step, okay? So let's start off with our first question in order to break apart a word problem. What do I need to find out? So look at this question that's in front of you. Look at this word problem in front of you and think, what is it that you need to find out? If you went ahead and answered, how much would 2.5 bags of seed weigh? You are absolutely correct. Let's move on from there. What information do I have available to help me solve this problem? This is the time when you go back and you look at the word problem and see what information they give you. What's there to help you solve this problem? Well, I know that each bag of grass seed weighs 5 8/10 pounds. And I know that I need to find out how many pounds would 2.5 bags weigh. So each bag is 5 8/10 pounds, and I need to find out how much 2.5 of those bags would weigh. Then it brings me up to my next question. Well, now I need to ask myself, what operation am I going to use to solve this problem? Well, let me see. Am I going to add? Well, I could add, but that would be really kind of hard. I'd be taking 5 8/10, adding it to 5 8/10, and adding it to 5 8/10. I mean, it's possible. There's a good chance of an error, and it can be very cumbersome. I'm not going to subtract because I need to find out how much 2.5 bags are going to weigh. So I'm actually having more bags. I'm not going to subtract. I've already figured that out. I'm not going to divide because that would still be going down. I'm going to multiply. Multiplying is going to be the easiest thing. All I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply 5 8/10, what each bag weighs. I'm going to multiply it by 2.5 bags, the number of bags that I need. So I'm going to multiply in this case. All right, well, now that I've broken apart my word problem, let's go ahead and let's create an equation and begin to solve that equation in order to solve my problem. All right, so here's my equation. As you can see, I have 5 8/10 that represents each bag of grass seed, and then 2.5 or 2 5/10, which represents how many bags I need. So let's begin by multiplying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply 5 times 8, and that gives me 40. 0. I carry my 4. And then I go 5 times 5 is 25, plus 4 is 29. Now I've completed multiplying that number. I have to add a 0. And now I'm going to come to my next number, the 2. And 2 times 8 is 16. 6. Carrying my 1. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 is, 11. And now I go ahead and add. 0 plus 0 is 0. 9 plus 6 is 15. Carry my 1. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 1 is 4. And then nothing plus 1 is 1. So far I have 1,450. But am I done? No, I'm not, because I didn't place my decimal point. What I need to do is I need to count the places in both the bottom and the top numbers. So let's do that. I'm going to start here. Here's my decimal point. How many places from the right and working left is it? 1 here, and then come to my next number. 1 here. So 1 spot and 1 spot is 2. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to move it. And there you go. I'm going to place my decimal point right there. So my answer is 1450, or 14 and 50 hundredths. But is it 14 and, am I done? No, it's 14 and 50 what? Pounds, exactly. And that's my answer. So what we just did is we once again went ahead and we broke apart a word problem. We showed you how to complete one. And then we went ahead and we showed you how you can multiply two decimals together. It's just basically multiplication and then placing your decimal point in the right place, counting the places and then moving it down below. Good luck on your activities today, and I look forward to seeing your work.